Welcome to another in the Apples of Gold series of audio plays. You are invited to suspend disbelief, as the critics say, and join the Apples of Gold cast as they bring to life the story of the Christmas Eve Intern. The year is 1949. After the train from Albany, New York pulled into the Grand Central Station, no one, not a single person, actually saw the young man with soft brown hair and soft brown eyes come through the gate. Still unseen, he walks the length of the great waiting room, now strangely tranquil as travel ebbs on Christmas Eve. Quietly, he goes out the door, down the street, and then up the broad marble stairs of the hospital. He walks to the end of the hall to the superintendent's office and enters. The girl at the desk smiles at him.
What can I do for you, sir?
Without saying a word, he gives her a card.
Just a moment, please. Dr. Cooley, Dr. Giles is here to see you.
Giles? Dr. Giles who applied for an internship?
Yes, Dr. Cooley. Dr. Clinton Giles from Albany.
Send him in, please.
Yes, sir. Dr. Cooley will see you, sir.
Dr. Fred Cooley?
Come in and have a seat, Dr. Giles. I was praying that you hadn't changed your mind about coming.
I'm sorry that I was delayed, Dr. Cooley. You see, there was an accident on the way to the Albany Railroad Station. The delay forced an alternate route than schedule.
No need to apologize. Was the accident a bad one?
There was a death.
Sorry to hear that, but I'm thankful you made it. I counted so much on you being here tonight. Christmas Eve, a night always busy with calls.
You are short of interns.
Oh, yes, Giles, these are the slums. Walk block after block and you won't see a doctor's shingle. Not one. The people here are too poor. They only know one healer, the intern, and his ambulance. And we only have 2 ambulances as it is. It's good you're here, Dr. Giles.
It's good to be here, Dr. Cooley.
Well, you better get started. Take this slip to the storeroom. Have them give you a warm sheepskin coat.
Thank you.
And a pair of mittens. From here you go to the ambulance room. I'll have a driver waiting for you. His name is Russ.
Yeah, my name is Russell Howard, but everyone calls me Russ. The chief says I'd drive your crate tonight.
Crate?
Crate, jalopy, sick buggy, ambulance, take your pick.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, hey, you green interns, you're all the same. The first time you spy our ambulance, your eyes pop wide, like you seen a heavenly chariot or something. Not me. I've been driving this old baby for 8 rotten years.
An ambulance is a sacred thing, Russ. It is a chariot of mercy.
234 South Street. 234 South Street.
2 bells. That's us. Come on, Giles. That's your first call. Look, pal, help me watch out by watching out for cars cutting into the cross streets. We don't stop for no red lights. Hey, look out. Look, Doc, what did I tell you? Watch it out, or we'll both be killed. Holy cow, you new interns, you're all alike. You always dream when you put on the white coat and pants and your head goes up in the clouds.
Why are you so bitter, Russ?
Why shouldn't I be bitter? If it wasn't for you, I'd be home with the wife.
You truly believe that only because of me?
Yeah. If you hadn't showed up, this ambulance would be parked in the garage, for crying out loud. I'd have had the night off like on a decent job.
To you, driving an ambulance is just a job like any other?
Yeah, nothing but. Boy, will I be glad when this shift is over.
But Russ, this is Christmas Eve.
You're telling me.
This is one night at least you could forget that driving an ambulance is a job. This one night you could look upon it as an errand of mercy.
An errand of mercy? Ha! You know where we're going?
To help someone afflicted.
Afflicted? I'll give you 2 to 1. We're making a stew call.
Stew call?
Yeah, Giles. We're risking our necks tearing through traffic to give some drunk a whiff of smelling salts.
Any man who cries out for help, whether he be brimful of drink or empty of blood, his call shall be answered.
Yeah, says you. Come on, Giles. Make it snappy. We ain't got all night. What did I tell you? Oh, worthless drunk. Here's your bag, Doc.
Thank you, Russ, but I won't need it.
But he's out cold, Giles. Give him a whiff of the stuff. Quick, and we blow.
Quiet, Russ. Come now. Open your eyes, sir.
He calls a drunk sir. Look, Giles, here's a spirit of ammonia. Hold it under his nose, will you? That will always wake him up.
Quiet, Russ. Come, sir. Open your eyes.
That's right, Giles. You just talk pretty to him, and he'll open his eyes.
Where am I? Why is everybody laughing? What's the matter?
Nothing. Just put your arm around my shoulder. That's it. Now let me help you to stand up straight. There. Now you feel better?
What do you know? Why, I feel all right. I feel fine. My head is so clear.
Of course. All you needed was some help to stand on your own 2 feet, to be strong, be of good cheer.
That's sure wonderful medicine you give me.
So what kind of gag you pulling? He didn't give you no medicine. There was nothing the matter with you. You toss off 6 beers and you lay down on the street like you're out cold and we waste an ambulance on you? I got a mind to take a poke at you.
That'll be enough, Russ. Tell me, sir, what is your name?
Well, if it's all the same to you...
Come on. Give him your name. He's got to make out his report.
Doug Samples, Doctor.
Doug, you won't lose faith again. You will stand up and face life courageously and with new hope.
Come on, Giles. We ain't got all night. Let's get going.
Doc!
Yes, Doug.
A Merry Christmas to you, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Giles, I'd like to speak to you.
Yes?
Giles, Russ tells me you didn't even open your bag on your first call.
No, it wasn't necessary.
Well, now don't misunderstand me, Giles. I can't begin to tell you how thankful I am you're with us this evening,
But from now on, I'm not to use suggestion?
or whatever it was you did use. Please follow standard medical protocols in treating your cases. You're not offended.
Of course not.
Well, that's fine, Dr. Giles. Oh, that's your call again.
19 Water Street, 3rd floor. 19 Water Street, 3rd floor.
Well, Russ, you seem to be good at guessing. You were right the last time. What sort of call is this going to be?
There's no guessing. It's experience. This time, it's no drunk,
Oh, what do you think it is?
a birth, or maybe a death.
Christmas Eve, and someone is to live or die. It is better that one should live on Christmas Eve. Russ, let it be a birth we're going to.
No difference to me, Doc. A birth or a death. I just drive.
You said you've been driving for 8 years, Russ?
Yeah, 8 rotten years.
What you call 8 rotten years were truly 8 glorious years filled with service to your fellow men.
Cut the chatter, Giles. This is it. Number 19, this red brick house, upstairs. Come on, make it snappy. It's 3rd floor, rear.
Doctor, here, up here.
Keep your shirt on. We're coming.
Even if you hurry, doctor,
Tears on Christmas Eve, young man?
I'm afraid you're too late.
Uh-huh. I thought it'd be a birth. You're wrong, Giles. It sure looks like...
Wait, Russ. Don't say it. Now. Perhaps we're not too late. Tell me, how is the mother?
She's all right. Her baby.
Yes, your baby?
Crippled. Terribly crippled. We prayed for her child to be born on Christmas Eve. We thought we'd be so happy tonight.
Come now. Come, no tears. Not on Christmas Eve. I'll have a look at the infant. Wait here.
Make it snappy, Giles. Doc Cooley's always nervous when the ambulances are out. Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. Hey, what's the idea of bringing the kid out here?
Let me hold him, Doc, please.
Of course. There you are. Aha, the child knows his father.
Yes, he knows me. He knows me. But he'll hate me when he's old enough to realize that, Doctor,
Yes?
his arms,
What about his arms?
they're straight as arrows.
So what?
But before they were terribly twisted. Both his arms were terribly crippled.
You can see for yourself the child is normal.
But I tell you, before I looked at, they were twisted, and now.
You were under great tension, perhaps your imagination.
Yes. Oh, my little son, aren't his tiny fingers so tiny?
Now go in and tell your wife truthfully that your baby is normal in every way. Show her.
Yes.
You both look forward to a happy Christmas Eve. It is. Remember, tears are not for Christmas Eve.
Hey. Oh, come on, Giles. Forget all that good fairy stuff. This fellow's hopped up enough as is. Let's go.
Yes, Russ.
Oh, Doctor,
Yes.
a Merry Christmas, Doctor.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, sir.
"37 Summer Street. 37 Summer Street."
Well, Russ, what is this call going to be?
I
A birth or a death?
I don't know, Giles, but I don't like this one. There's something about this call that give me a funny chill all of a sudden.
Because it's in your neighborhood?
Huh? What do you think this call is going to be?
Because it is your wife.
Paula?
Is this job a rotten job, Russ, now that you can rush a doctor to her side? Is this ambulance a crate now that it's speeding to answer your own wife's cry of pain?
Stop that kind of talk, will you? You trying to make me think something happened to Paula? I ain't afraid. I'll say it again. Yeah, driving this crate is still a job, and a bum one at that.
In the 8 years?
Rotten years, wasted years. Could have had my own garage and repair business. I'd be in the chips today instead of
Yes, you would have made more money.
risking my neck driving all night, twisting in and out of traffic, skidding on the icy spots.
Why, Russ? Why did you do it?
Nothing in this whole cockeyed world could keep me sitting behind this wheel, except my wife. If it wasn't for Paula,
What's the matter, Russ?
nothing, I guess. That house we just passed was ours. The lights are out.
Is that unusual?
Nah. It just means Paula ain't home. She probably gone down to the corner as far as the drugstore. Yeah. Paula walks the dog down there every night about this time, and
Yes, Russ.
the call we're going to is that drugstore.
Yes, Russ.
Giles, you got a hunch from what it is. Tell me what it is.
It's not a birth, Russ.
Let me through. I got a Paula. It's Paula. Giles, do something. You got to do something. Please.
We will take her to the hospital, Russ.
"812 East River Road. 812 East River Road."
Come on, Russ. Let's get ready. The next call will be ours.
Get ready?
Yes, you heard. The other ambulance just went out.
Are you crazy? My wife is upstairs in the operating room, and you expect me to leave the hospital to go out and drive?
There are people who need us, Russ. Our work tonight is not yet finished.
But Paula needs me. What do I care about other people?
There are other people, Russ, who will cry out for help, as your wife did. We will answer them.
Not me. I ain't moving.
It is Christmas Eve, Russ.
Christmas Eve. What a Christmas present I got.
64 West Street. 64 West Street.
It's our turn, Russ.
All right, Giles, but this is my last trip for the night. No, not for the night. Forever. I'm through. Do you hear? All washed up. For good.
I'm terribly sorry, Russ. We did the best we could.
Dying? Paula's dying?
She asked for you, Russ, just once. It was while you were out on that West Street call. Then she lapsed into a coma.
Isn't there a chance, Doc Cooley?
I doubt it.
Dr. Cooley, long distance telephone call for Dr. Cooley.
Excuse me.
While I'm out with the crepe, my wife calls for me and now she's unconscious. Think of others, he said, because it's Christmas Eve. What do you got to say now, Giles? You took me from her. You made me go out and drive that rotten ambulance when she...
You went to help others, to bring aid to the suffering.
A lot of consolation, that is.
Remember how the old woman blessed you with tears in her eyes?
I can't think of nothing but Paula's going... You, with your big ideas and fine speeches, what do you know about sorrow and suffering?
All that there is to know, my friend.
Just now, when you said that, for a second, there seemed to be a bright light around you. I must be seeing things on account of Paula's lying there dying, and I'm crazy with grief and sorrow.
Grief and sorrow for you, yet how much you did to relieve others of that pain.
It's funny, Giles, but
Yes, Russ.
when you said those words, I thought of my 8 years, the 8 rotten years, and they didn't seem so bad, not anymore. Now, I kind of like them.
Godly sorrow worketh repentance. You should, Russ. You should be thankful for them. 8 years of bringing a healer to the suffering, 8 years of rushing the torn and the smashed to the hands of the mender.
Your words, they just take the pain right out of me. They just draw it out.
Now that your work for this night is finished, Russ, I will walk you home.
Go home? While Paula is...
Yes.
If you say so, Giles, but for the life of me, I don't know why I'd take your word. What a break. What a rotten break I got on Christmas Eve.
You love her a great deal, don't you?
Yeah.
Soon it will be midnight.
A Merry Christmas.
How did she greet you each night when you returned from driving?
How did Paula greet... why do you ask that, Giles?
Tell me, Russ. I want you to say it.
Well, she
Tell me.
was like a happy, anxious kid. She'd go out and put on the porch light. Didn't matter, even if the weather was terrible. I used to get after her about that she'd catch her pneumonia. But she'd always put on the porch light and stand outside there waiting for me.
Waiting for her shining knight returning from his errands of mercy.
As soon as she'd see me come round that next corner, she'd call to me.
And now, will you continue your driving?
Yeah. Even though Paula won't be around, I'm sticking.
This is your corner.
Yeah.
Look to your house, my friend.
The light. Our porch light. It's on, Giles. Giles, where are you?
Look to your house, my friend.
No, it can't be.
Russ.
It's Paula. Paula, darling, it is you. Thank you, Lord. I say it on my knees. Thank you. And from now on, things are going to be different.
Operator, this is Dr. Cooley. I'll take that long distance call now.
1 moment, please. Go ahead. Dr. Cooley?
Yes, this is Dr. Fred Cooley.
This is Marcellus Giles.
Yes, Mrs. Giles. How can I help you?
My son, Clinton. He was scheduled to start working at your hospital today.
Yes?
This is very difficult for me, but I thought that you should know.
What is it?
Clinton will not be coming. He died in an automobile accident, driving to the Albany Railroad Station.
You have been listening to an Apples of Gold radio adaptation of The Christmas Eve Intern. Featured in the cast were Ken Guthrie as the Christmas Eve Intern, Tim Bogus as Russ, Bill Lynch as Dr. Fred Cooley and the distraught father, and Kristen Parks as the receptionist, the operator, Paula, and Marcellus Giles. Other miscellaneous voices by Rodney Pell and Danny Webb. Apples of Gold is directed by Danny Webb and produced by Rodney Pell. This is Rodney Pell speaking. Disclaimer: this story is a work of fiction. Any similarities to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Now here is director Danny Webb with his closing devotional.
The Christmas Eve Intern has a Twilight Zone quality about it and leaves much to the imagination. Was the substitute Dr. Giles an angel or perhaps a Christophany? Maybe it was all a divinely inspired dream meant to stir the heart and bring about a change in the disenchanted ambulance driver Russ. Regardless, I thought it was captivating and fun. Unfortunately, there are people in the world like Russ, disenchanted, discouraged, and depressed. Hopelessness breeds helplessness. Helplessness breeds despair, and despair can bring death. There is an anecdote that, while humorous because of its incongruity, is poignantly sad. As the story goes, a fellow is walking through the city streets and, turning into an alley, sees a man on a building ledge. The concerned bypasser shouts, "What are you doing?" To which the man on the ledge replies, "I am going to jump. There's so much wrong with the world, I can't take it anymore." The bypasser shouts back, "Don't do it. Let me come up there with you. You tell me what's wrong with the world for 10 minutes, and I'll tell you what's right with the world for 10 minutes. The man on the ledge agreed. The man on the street ascended to his side, and for 10 minutes the man who'd been preparing to take his own life told the rescuer what was wrong with the world. Then for 10 minutes the rescuer told him what was right with the world. After 20 minutes they both jumped. I'm going to suggest that there are those listening who know someone who has attempted suicide or knew someone that unfortunately succeeded. Maybe you have considered it yourself. I would certainly hate to stand in front of God with blood on my hands, guilty of murder. If you are in this state of mind, please call someone. There is no shame in asking for help. It doesn't mean that you are some third-rate Christian if you get depressed. The Apostle Paul felt a sadness so deep that the Bible said he despaired even of life. Note the word despair. Listen to this Charles Spurgeon quote, that prince of preachers from the 1800s, who himself struggled with depression. It is good, practical advice. He said, "In many, their refusal to be comforted arises from bodily and mental disease. It is vain to ply with scriptural arguments those who are in more urgent need of healing medicine or generous diet or a change of air." Let me close this devotional by saying that Jesus loves you. The Bible says to the born-again believer, "Let us therefore come boldly," that is freely, "to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in the time of need." Now, while God does not need anyone's help to do anything, it seems that he usually works through the natural to produce the supernatural. Specifically, he works through people to help other people. Let me add that it is a privilege to be used by God in answering prayers for those around us. If you are in the slough of despond, that is a state of extreme depression or despondency, reach out to Jesus in prayer. Follow this with a call to a friend and seek medical help.